WWE fans protest against the release of R-Truth CM Punk's segment Hijacked, the best and worst of WWE Raw before Money in the Bank. A surprising update on Vince McMahon's lawsuit. The Miz leaves WWE. Lyra Valkyria does not have the tools to be a major WWE star. WWE is getting away with boring shows. Details on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair's relationship. Jey Uso is losing his WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 1 week. Seth Rollins' place questionable. Let's dive right in. The best and worst of WWE Raw before Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is almost here, and the last Raw set the stage with some jaw-dropping moments. Finn Balor and JD McDonough took down the War Raiders, thanks to Roxanne Perez's interference, but Judgment Day's Carlito was nowhere to be seen. Like R-Truth, he shared over the weekend that WWE isn't renewing his contract. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria traded fierce words in a heated face-off, but officials stepped in when Lynch held back from throwing punches before the big event. Rusev and Sheamus opened up about their past friendship, now fractured by their changing paths. Stephanie Vaquer and El Grande Americano locked in the final spots for the ladder matches. Gunther sent a chilling warning to Jey Uso, saying he's spreading himself too thin before their title showdown. Here's the best and worst from Raw as Money in the Bank looms. Number 1. Worst. Missing chances to spotlight other stars. WWE revealed on Sunday that CM Punk, AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano would fight for the last Money in the Bank qualifier spot on Raw. Seth Rollins was already booked, so Punk and Styles made sense, but El Grande Americano felt like an odd pick. Chad Gable flopped in last week's qualifier, yet he got another shot. Instead of giving that spot to Karrion Kross, Sheamus, Rusev, Otis, or another Raw talent, Gable had 2 chances to shine. Kross was stuck in another backstage scene, scheming to sway Sami Zayn. With such a stacked roster, someone else could have stepped up this week or last. Gable's already in the Worlds Collide main event, so why not let another star grab the spotlight? Number 2. Best and worst. Skies wins hint at a big tag team showdown. Kairi Sane's return took a hit when Rhea Ripley beat her and Zoe Stark to qualify for Money in the Bank. Even if Stark took the pin, Sane's comeback match ended in a loss after her long injury layoff. But she bounced back strong. First outsmarting Liv Morgan last week when Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez's mix-up cost Morgan the match. Perez tried to help Morgan, but Rodriguez wasn't happy. The drama continued as Sane beat Rodriguez with Sky's help. Beating the women's tag team champions twice screams that a tag team clash is coming. If WWE hadn't cut so many tag teams last month, those titles might have already been defended. They've been sitting with Morgan and Rodriguez since April 22nd on Raw. Number 3. Best. Stephanie Vaquer shines in Money in the Bank qualifier. WWE could have fumbled big time in the triple threat match for the final women's Money in the Bank spot, pitting Liv Morgan against Stephanie Vaquer and Ivy Nile. Morgan's a former winner and the biggest name, but Ivy Nile hasn't earned a spot like this. The match doubled as Vaquer's official Raw debut, even after a few post-WrestleMania appearances. La Primera pulled off the win, knocking Morgan out of the race. If Morgan had won while still holding the tag team titles, undefended for 6 weeks, it would have been a disaster. She needs to focus on those belts. Vaquer's got a tag match at Worlds Collide earlier, but she's handled double duty before. Number 4. Worst. El Grande Americano. Steals the win from AJ Styles and CM Punk. Vaquer's set to compete at both shows, but she's a Lucha Libre star and only in a tag match at Worlds Collide. Gable, as El Grande Americano, is pulling double duty too, with a Worlds Collide main event against Vikingo and the men's Money in the Bank match. But his win over AJ Styles and CM Punk felt wrong. Everyone saw Rollins' crew stopping Punk, so Styles should have taken it. El Grande cheated again, hiding metal in his mask to smash Styles. If that move's so brutal, why doesn't it hurt Gable? Styles could have won and gone for the Intercontinental title. Number 5. Best and worst. The usual disqualification drama. WWE stuck to its habit of ending at least one Raw or SmackDown match in a disqualification. Jey Uso teamed with Sami Zayn to prep for his big Money in the Bank match with Cody Rhodes. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in their first team-up couldn't take a loss. After some intense action, Seth Rollins stormed in to attack Jey, triggering a disqualification. That sparked chaos, with CM Punk jumping in and Rollins' crew getting payback in the main event. WWE leans on these finishes too often, especially with so many big matches crammed into a tight schedule, but it feels like they're stuck with no better options. A surprising update on Vince McMahon's lawsuit. Vince McMahon's career has always been a wild ride, full of ups and downs. Over a year ago, the former WWE chairman and his longtime employee John Laurinaitis were hit with serious accusations. Now, a judge has made a game-changing move in the case. Janelle Grant, who worked at WWE's headquarters from 2019 to 2022, filed a lawsuit in January 2024, claiming McMahon pressured her into an inappropriate sexual relationship. The lawsuit also accused McMahon and Laurinaitis of sex trafficking and assault, but Laurinaitis quickly separated himself from McMahon, saying the WWE co-founder used his power to control him. Last week, the case took a stunning turn when Grant's lawyers got Laurinaitis removed from the lawsuit after he agreed to a secret settlement and to assist in the case against McMahon. Judge Sarah F. Russell has officially dropped Laurinaitis from the Grant lawsuit, according to PW Insider. The order, filed in the United States District Court of Connecticut, dismisses Laurinaitis with prejudice, meaning he can't be sued again in this case. Defendant John Laurinaitis is dismissed from this action with prejudice. The court respectfully directs the clerk to terminate Mr. Laurinaitis from the action. Signed by Judge Sarah F. Russell, reads the filing. Laurinaitis has stayed out of the spotlight since the scandal broke last year. His 9-year marriage to Kathy Collis, mother of the Bella twins, ended in divorce, which she confirmed on their podcast last fall. Meanwhile, McMahon and WWE are pushing to move Grant's lawsuit to arbitration. Bryan Danielson, once close to both McMahon and Laurinaitis as his son-in-law, has been caught in the emotional crossfire. Before the divorce was confirmed, Danielson spoke about the scandal on the Gorilla Position podcast, revealing how his view of both men has shifted. Yeah, it's been, first and foremost, I want to say people that have been hurt are in a way worse position than I am, right? My empathy goes to them. But yeah, it's just, there's not a lot I want to say about it, honestly, because it's not just the Vince piece, it's also my father-in-law, and maybe ex-father-in-law, as far as that kind of stuff goes. You think of somebody in some way, then something happens, and it changes, right? And that's always hard. But like I said, as hard as that may be for me emotionally, it's way worse for people who have been victimized by people in power, Bryan Danielson said. Danielson's comments marked a shift from his earlier praise for McMahon, like the heartfelt words he shared in an open letter in the Players' Tribune after leaving WWE. The Miz leaves WWE. WWE's recent moves have shaken things up, with R-Truth and Carlito getting cut from the roster. Both stars dropped the news on social media yesterday, leaving everyone shocked. Now, The Miz's actions have stirred up a storm of confusion about his future with the wrestling giant. Just hours ago, people noticed that the A-lister unfollowed WWE on his X account and scrubbed all mentions of the company from his X bio. This has fans worried that The Miz might be the next to walk away, especially after the recent releases. But Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful shut down the rumors, confirming there's no trouble with The Miz's status. He's still firmly with the Stamford-based company at 44 years old. After R-Truth's release, The Miz posted a heartfelt message on social media, reflecting on their time together. He said teaming up as Awesome Truth was a highlight of his career, praising Truth's infectious energy and wishing him the best. Forming Awesome Truth with you was one of the best runs of my career. No one made me laugh harder. Your energy, heart, and smile lit up every room and every arena. You're not one of a kind, you're one in a lifetime. Love you, Truth. Keep shining. The Miz's decision to unfollow WWE on social media might be his way of showing frustration over Truth's exit. Still, he remains a WWE star, locked in with the company. Now, fans are wondering when his contract with the Stamford-based promotion runs out. The Miz signed a multi-year deal in 2018, which extended from the 2 years left on his previous contract. That agreement likely keeps him with WWE through 2025, meaning his deal could be up by year's end. Only time will tell what's next for the former US champion, and if he'll stay with the company in the months ahead. Lyra Valkyria does not have the tools to be a major WWE star. WWE's current roster is packed with fresh champions, including former NXT stars now shining on the main stage. Lyra Valkyria jumped to Raw last year and has been on a roll. She made it to the Queen of the Ring finals and etched her name in history as the first ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. The Irish star has held the title since January and is set to defend it against Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank this Saturday. On the latest Legion of Raw episode on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge, Vince Russo tore into Lyra Valkyria, saying she's not cut out to be a top WWE star. He argued she lacks the skills needed and suggested a fix to get her there. If I was the producer, I would tell you by looking at this, Lyra does not have the tools. She'll get the tools by pre-taping her promos till she gets better. Chris, remember man, there are no house shows anymore. They're not getting reps. That is the only promo Lyra Valkyria is cutting all week. Imagine a baseball player like getting in a batting cage once a week. That's the problem, bro, that they can't cut these promos at house shows. They do it once a week, and it's not enough, Russo said. This isn't the first time Russo has called out Valkyria's promo skills. He raised the same issue after last week's Raw. With the Women's Intercontinental title on the line this Saturday, many are betting on Becky Lynch to take the belt, which could mark the first time it changes hands. WWE is getting away with boring shows. WWE is gearing up for another big premium live event with Money in the Bank 2025 just days away, set to light up the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. This marks the 16th year of the iconic event, driven by 2 high-stakes ladder matches. But beyond those, the card feels thin, with only 2 other matches confirmed so far. With just this Friday's SmackDown left before the PLE, only 4 matches are locked in. On Legion of Raw on Sportskeeda WrestleBinge, former WWE writer Vince Russo called out the company for coasting with lackluster effort before the big show. Let's be honest, man, they are just getting away with doing nothing. I don't know if you literally could put any less effort into what they're doing creatively, Russo said. The men's Money in the Bank match will feature Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, Penta, LA Knight, Andrade, and El Grande Americano battling for the coveted briefcase. On the women's side, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Stephanie Vacker, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, and Naomi will clash to claim the prize. While the latter matches steal the spotlight, John Cena is also set to compete, teaming with Logan Paul to face Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Meanwhile, Lyra Valkyria defends her women's Intercontinental title against her former mentor, now rival, Becky Lynch. Details on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair's relationship. Jade Cargill, the first major AEW star to switch to WWE, has become a key player in the women's division, rising fast since joining a year ago. She's now a strong contender for a title shot. Today, she's marking a special moment as she celebrates her 33rd birthday, with fans and family showering her with love. Since her return at the 2025 Elimination Chamber, Cargill has been locked in a fierce rivalry with Naomi, the former SmackDown Women's Champion, who was unmasked as her mystery attacker. On the latest SmackDown, Cargill fought Naomi and Nia Jax in a Money in the Bank qualifier, but came up short when Naomi pinned Nia with a crucifix pin. Amid her WWE success and personal milestone, rumors are swirling about tension backstage. On Sportskeeda Wrestling's WrestleMania 41 review, former WWE writer Vince Russo dropped a bombshell, claiming Cargill and Bianca Belair don't get along, which led to the breakup of their tag team. The same person that told me that Drew was supposed to win the Chamber also told me Bianca Belair and Jade did not get along, and that was the reason why they broke them up in the first place. So now I don't know if Bianca and Naomi are really friends. I don't know how good of friends they are, but the story was that Bianca and Jade were not getting along, and that's why they put her through the car and split them up, and then she was with Naomi. Last week's SmackDown showed a tense moment between Cargill and Belair during a brief face-off, hinting at real friction. It's anyone's guess whether these former tag team partners will clash in a full-blown feud in the months ahead. Jey Uso is losing his WWE World Heavyweight Championship in 1 week. Jey Uso's days as WWE World Heavyweight Champion could be numbered, according to a former champ. On Raw, Gunther confronted Jey Uso and laid out why he's doomed to lose the title next week. The ring general called out Jey's loyalty, saying he's spreading himself too thin by helping others, leaving him vulnerable for their big showdown. You're a great guy, Jey. You're selfless in a very selfish business. What's the result? 1 week out. You're not at 100%. I'm very sure if Punk gets in trouble tonight, you'll be there for him. And 2 days before you defend the World Heavyweight Championship against me, you're set for a tag team match at Saturday night's main event, Money in the Bank, because it's important to Cody. Because everyone knows you can depend on your good friend Jey. Gunther warned that Jey's title reign will end in just 1 week, setting the stage for him to take back the championship he lost at WrestleMania. Because ever since that day I lost to you at WrestleMania, I knew I'd avenge this. And right now, you're making it very, very easy for me. Jey, in 1 week the party is over. Seth Rollins is placed questionable. Seth Rollins is gearing up for a huge match at WWE's Money in the Bank, but his role in the men's ladder match has raised eyebrows. Vince Russo, speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, argued that it makes no sense for the Visionary to be in the match without his new allies, Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. Since forming a faction with Paul Heyman at WrestleMania 41, Rollins has been unstoppable, with Breaker and Reed joining the crew soon after. Now, as one of 6 competitors in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, he's got a shot at earning a world title opportunity. But Russo believes WWE missed a chance to spice things up by leaving Breaker and Reed out, which could have fueled tension and betrayal within the group. Then the question is, why is Rollins in the Money in the Bank? The only way it makes sense is if either Reed or Breaker were in there as well. So now the question is, are they going to win or are they going to go into business for themselves? That is so simple and so elementary, but neither one of those guys is in. So Seth Rollins needs to win Money in the Bank, the veteran said. Rollins and his crew have been clashing with CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso, even taking down the World Heavyweight Champion on Raw last night. Many see Rollins as the top pick to win the Money in the Bank contract and cash it in on Jey. WWE fans protest against the release of R-Truth, CM Punk's segment Hijacked. WWE fans were eager to see how the live crowd would react to R-Truth's shocking departure, and they didn't hold back. During the June 2nd episode of Raw in Tulsa, Oklahoma, CM Punk kicked off the show with a bold segment, calling out John Cena and vowing to cash in on the undisputed WWE champion if he wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. The moment was a clear setup for one last epic clash between Punk and Cena. But as Sami Zayn joined Punk in the ring, the crowd took over, chanting, "We want truth," in a heartfelt nod to R-Truth, who recently announced he's leaving WWE due to his contract expiring soon. The chants didn't stop there. Fans kept shouting, "We want truth" during the triple threat qualifier match featuring Stephanie Baker, Ivy Nile, and Liv Morgan. Even before Raw went live, with the arena still filling up, the Oklahoma crowd was already voicing their love for truth. The outpouring showed just how much Truth's exit has shaken fans. While the commentators ignored the chants, CM Punk addressed them after Raw went off the air, grabbing the mic to speak to the crowd's passion for the beloved star. "How dare you chant for somebody that's not here?" Some believe WWE might bring Truth back later under a Legends deal. Regardless, the overwhelming support for the former United States champion proves how much he means to fans. Only time will tell what's next for him.